anagrams will come back, I think, but let's go to your some of your experimentation with photography and film.
Yeah. No, film?
Well, it's not digital, it's analog, right?
Yeah.
It's film.
But it's two-dimensional, not a movie.
No,
okay,
but
good.
okay, yeah,
good.
okay, analog.
Yeah.
I mean, before digital, it wasn't
okay.
so confusing. So these are a series called Bartol Scent Strip.
Yeah.
And that's an anagram of
To the
self-portrait.
Right.
So I think we could talk about the Bartol part and what that means. Maybe Bartol, the stripping of skin. And then also maybe how you get to this point of using these images of yourself. I'll just flick through a couple. Yeah. It's a bit far away. And should we stay on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's quite good to explain it with this. This is my face, and either the yellow and the white one is two slides put on top of each other, put together, and then cut into 6 pieces and blow up and put it in a new frame and get a print out of it. And with the yellow one, it's a yellow foil extra in the frame.
Like a gel, yellow gel,
yeah.
And with some of these, I read that you stitched them back together, or you wanted to, or you tested it out.
So what I like with this is to deconstruct or to cut or destroy my face and put it together in a new way, and look what will happen. Especially the left one, the yellow one, there are no eyes anymore. So it's the eye.
Is in the cut, yeah. And some people that have written on your work have remarked about that. That I mean, and the idea that the eyes are the gateway to the soul or something, and you cut that out.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about the title, other than the anagram, but also what the reference to Bartol?
Okay, so it's Bartol Scent Strip. This is an anagram to self-portrait, and there is Scent Strip, that means the holy one who strips. So let's translate it like that. And Bartol, the holy Bartholomew, is the one who was killed by. They took their skin and
they flayed him.
Deflate him, yeah.
Did the title come before the work, or did the work? I mean, sorry. Did the title come before you made the images, or did the images come in?
Shall I tell the truth?
Yeah. Well, if you don't have to. We'll never know.
No, it was something in between, and a bottle of red wine.
Oh, okay. Never a bad thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any rule about when the title should come. I mean, some people just say untitled for a lot of work. Yeah. And you have quite a lot of titles. Yeah. So, no, I was just curious because that idea of like skinning something and this idea of like removing the eyes or the double. I mean, I wish we had a few other examples, but you know, in a way, you're defaced. I mean, there is a way of almost like some kind of mutilation in some of the works. And like as well as them kind of, not this one, but these ones have a kind of strange like alien, that could be like kind of...
so they are double faces and...
Yeah, but they have like, I mean, in a way they literally are like aliens or kind of strange underwater creatures. But at the same time, when you know it's a face, it becomes like a nightmare or a horror movie.
Yeah. But it's rosy red, so...
Yeah, exactly. But is that again, is that just something that happens in the work and it's about the reading? Or do you start with the idea that like, I want to create an image that might disturb?
No. It happens.
Yeah. Maybe we could talk about these two. So this is Regina Bartol and Tony Bartol.
So when I was in Switzerland, I had a residency there, and in advance I had a little note in the local newspaper, please give me photos of your childhood time, and I will give it back to you, but I will use them as for my work. And I took childhood photos from me, and I did this drawing with this Photoshop tool, eraser, or is it eraser? Yeah. And I did a drawing of me and put the eyes exactly on the eyes of the other person.
Okay, so you're in both of them.
Right. Yeah.
But there's two. How many works like this?
It was 12, and one was the audience had to find out which one was Reinhold and Reinhold. So.
Or Holger and Reinhold.
No,
or just
yeah, right. Maybe it was Holger. Yeah.
Because I've only seen 3. I was curious about the color scheme because the third one, which we don't have, is red.
Yeah.
And I just wondered whether the colors had any symbolism to them, or if it was just that you wanted to kind of have a rainbow when you saw them all together.
No. It was when I saw this young girl with the
pigtails.
What's that called?
Pigtails or plaits? They're plaits, right? But braids, or
pigtails?
How do you say it here?
Pigtails.
But pigtails are up here, or they're down here?
Those are pigtails.
Okay.
Good. So the girl with the pigtail, I thought green is fine. So there is no discussion.
Yeah, you just choose a color. Yeah. Life's easier that way, right? I was listening to something on NPR recently that was about the fact that people waste so much energy every day on these little decisions. And this woman who was head of something at a department of like anti-stress or something at Berkeley, she was saying that she knew exactly, she always wore the same outfit every day, Monday to Friday, and she knew exactly what she was eating, exactly what time, everything. So she didn't think about anything because that conserved energy. So, yeah, you're on your way. We've got a lot to talk, so we won't stay maybe on this for too long, but just take us through, where does this relate to your kind of like evolution? Is it before this or after this?
The red ones are before.
Yeah. This I know this space is in France.
Yeah.
Was it an installation for this space, or did you?
No, this was a place in south of France where an artist friend and I had an exhibition, and I chose this room for the 5 portraits.
So I know it's called Albula Bartol.
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? Albula Bartol?
Albula was a place in Switzerland, and I was part of a bi-national exhibition there. And for this exhibition, I created a work we will see later, this big teddy bear. But in this place, it was a former children's sanatory. I found portraits, little portrait photographs of children. They had been there before. And I took them and I matched these photos with childhood photos of me. So this is.
So this came first, and then we got these. Yeah. But how many layers are there on this?
2,
just two.
Yeah.
But the technique is slightly different.
This is Photoshop.
Yeah, as well. Okay. And the color again? Is there a specific? Because it makes me think of a flag, except that.
Yeah, right.
Possibly.
The red is there is a connection to Switzerland.
Yeah.
The red flag, yes.
Yeah, but but not like the children of Switzerland, or I mean, are you making any reference politically or socially to the children? No. Because of time, I'll just move on. Let's talk about this series. It's quite a few images. I'm just going to flick through them. Called Adam, which led to work that led to this show. That's good. Yeah. So I know you were either showing it or working on it in Thailand.
No, this started in Thailand.
It started in Thailand,
but I worked on it later.
And it was a student from Australia.
Yeah.
Was he actually called Adam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you maybe tell us about that story and how it developed?
So I was in Thailand working at the Faculty of Fine Art in Chiang Mai, the CMU, and Adam was one of the exchange students I was working with. And accidentally we arrived at school, one day we arrived at school together. And the Thai faculty, some of the staff, some people of the staff asked me, "Is that your son?" And I couldn't see any similarities. Resemblance with Adam and me, but it was nice. At the same time, a bit frightening or disturbing or something like that at the same time. So I took a series of portraits.
Can I interrupt? Disturbing because you wouldn't like him as a son, or disturbing because you don't have a son?
That's it.
The second?
Yeah.
Okay. So were you disturbed by the fact that it felt nice to think he might have been your son? Yeah.
So I took a series of portraits of him and just put parts of my face. It's easy to see if you go through. So you might have met him, Adam. So we met in Chiang Mai.
Oh, cool.
2006. Yeah.
Great. And the red text?
This is Holger. We don't have to talk about that now.
Oh, because we're pretending Holger's not here to defend himself. Okay. He should have come if he wanted us to talk about him. Okay. It's his loss. I mean, there's a space on the sofa for him.
These are my eyes in his face, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's go on. So this series is called Is That My Son?
Yeah.
This comes from this idea.
Right. Yeah. After having met Adam and thinking about the idea of might have been nice to have a son. I started to look for young men in the internet whom I could ask this question. And the first series. These shellac drawings are from porn websites. These as well, and
there's got to be something slightly tongue-in-cheek to go to a porn site and say, "Are you my tongue-in-cheek?" A little bit. I'm trying to think of a different way.
Something-in-cheek.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean. Excuse the pun, but no, I mean, not that one. Well, I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, I thought about this once that it would be horrible if your child was people say, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with porn," but would they want their child to be a porn actor?
No,
I mean, to choose a porn site to ask that question, it's interesting because I mean, I can understand the question coming from the Adam series, but why you then choose to go to a porn site? Was there any humor in that? That's what I mean by tongue-in-cheek, because it's kind of not necessarily where you'd want your son to be.
No, but I like it's not that I really like porn that much. Oh, I do, yeah. All the photographs I took and used for my drawings and paintings, the models, let's say the models, the young men, have a certain, for me, touching face expression. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a kind of
so, for instance, this is obvious. So, this is
touching or vulgar?
Both.
Yeah, okay. Depends what you mean by touching. I mean, I don't know in Germany if that word has a double meaning, but touching in English could have a double meaning.
In Germany, in German too,
well.
but I mean the one meaning.
Yeah, okay. So, and the color, I mean, this color is kind of earthy.
It's shellac.
Okay. Why go for that color? Was there any decision? Because I was thinking there's a piece of work that we're not showing that I was looking at similar time to this, which is created with the anus, which made me think this color looked kind of like excrement. And I wondered if that was me making that connection because I saw it within.
She's good.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about that?
No, that's an A+.
Yeah. But did it not cross your mind?
Pardon?
It didn't cross your. When did you make the anus pieces?
Oh.
Because one of them's called. I'll show it. I haven't got it on this series. We have to look at it now to prove that I'm not making it up.
But no, I guess it's in here.
Is it? Yeah. Is it in
They
the
are
middle of
very
these?
tiny, the photos.
Yeah, but it's. No, there was a bigger one. It must be in. Okay, well, trust me, there are some pictures that are.
You have seen that.
The felt pieces and the ones on tissue.
You called them your first drawings of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, if I can't find them, I will give up in 2 seconds.
Could you not think of yourself as these guys at a younger time, with your father seeing you as a porn?
No.
Absolutely not.
No. That's. But this is really what touches me. So when I see these
Can't find it.
men and women there, and I imagine their parents see that, what they do. So I don't have to continue, I guess. So.
I can't find it.
Your question, no. Answer to your question, no. But I still like their faces in these special situations. I really like their faces.
Let's. Okay, this one.
This is. I like that because it's about this size and it's in my living room and I see it every day.
The color again, because all of these are brown.
The color is one of these.
It's on a green sheet.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
okay. So did this kind of help you develop to this?
Right.
Okay. And then this one is also entitled "Is That My Son?" But these are from the kind of media depiction of the Arab Spring and the Arabic Revolution.
Right. That's the second series.
Yeah. So you have the porn series, the Arabic Revolution, and then you have the Illinois mugshots.
Indiana mugshot, yeah.
Indiana, sorry.
Yeah.
Is there a kind of a really sensible jump between those? Or does it just like something else catches your eye and then you pursue it? Or is there a relationship between the pornography, the Middle East, and the depiction of it? Like, is it the fact that the media are representing it in a way that reminds you of the pornography, or?
It's not the job they do, but the situations or their being in a porn movie, or being in a war situation, or being accused having done a crime or felony. It's not a normal, an everyday situation, and that's what I'm interested in.
Do you think they're vulnerable, or the men are vulnerable in these?
So it's not so much about their differences, but their emotional there's a certain emotionality that is very similar and not differentiated in the three series. So the loneliness or the vulnerability, whatever it is the similarities what you're showing, not the difference.
Thank you.
And this is the website where you found, sorry that we can't get it bigger, but this is the website that you highlighted, charged with a crime, and then here, the standard processing fee to unpublished data is $20, and for a fast speed 25. So they haven't necessarily committed the crime.
Right.
But if they want to take off their information, how did you find this site? Were you just surfing?
Yeah. I was in Indiana at that time when I ended up at this website, and I couldn't believe that this website exists. So, pardon?
What was the address again?
Indiana
Mugshots?
IndianaMugshots.net.
We have one here. There's one in Dallas.
Same type? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know if whether they're indicted but not formally accused, but I think so.
But this idea that you can pay to have your name removed makes it seem like a kind of capitalist enterprise.
That seems totally illegal.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
So
that you can take it off.
That made me think. That made me think this is not a real official website, but a semi-official website. I don't know.
It says to request that a mugshot be unpublished, simply send us the name of the arrested person and the date of their arrest with a money order. Yeah, it almost seems like a bribery, extortion. Yeah. Do you want to talk about this, or should we? Because I know we're kind of out of time.
So let's stop.
Talking about this one. Okay. I'll flick through some of these other images and just say a little bit.
Good.
So I kind of picked out images that, again, this is my interpretation, and I think you may or may not see eye to eye on it. But to me, there's a certain kind of tension, and like sometimes alien-like feel to things, but also again, I think of torture or people kneeling, or people being dragged, hung upside down. This to me is almost like someone's being, a kind of the opposite of a lynching, but people are just kind of left to hang. And the idea that they're in a group also becomes like a potential kind of this group has been singled out, so like a possible, genocide or prejudice towards them. This, again, is like this kind of river of people. Like, is it like a river of death, or are they praying? Do you see that kind of human resemblance, or do you think it's because they're old clothes that makes me read into that?
I use used clothes because I like the idea of new images in your head. Yeah,
but in relation, because you pad them out, so they have a kind of a texture to them. Yeah. Like they really do have that sense of the arms.
Yeah.
Now these are crocheted. I'm wondering if you can talk about that, because you learnt to crochet as a child. Was it with your blind grandparents?
No. That would lead too far, I guess.
Okay, we'll talk about that another time. Okay, Teddy. Yeah. I want to talk about Teddy because it's very funny.
This was my contribution to this show in 2000 when I was in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. And each artist got one former 3-bedroom where children were and had their diseases, and they had to stay there for some weeks or months or maybe more. And this is about 2 meter 10, so it's 7 feet, is it?
Mm.
And 1 meter 40 is about 5 feet. And so the hole in the face is, as you can see here, in the height of a regular person's
average height.
Yeah. So I asked this guy, please put your head where it's supposed to be, and he did.
And the fact that he's wearing a suit makes it.
He's a gallery owner.
Okay. Well, it's like the same color as the teddy. But so it's a giant version of something you found, or it's a
no, it's a giant version of my former teddy.
Okay.
So I had that when I was in a sanatory.
Oh, okay.
At the age
okay,
of
I
8.
missed that. Okay.
So.
Okay.
And next day, after this opening, there was children could see this exhibition, and one child went to the room next door and took a little, not a chair, but
A stool.
a stool, yeah. Put it in front of the teddy. Get up and put his head into the hole and hugged the teddy.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Do you have a picture?
No.
You should. You should. Well, we're going to have to move fast through, but I'm going to just show some of these images. There's text on it that's been written by Holger, not anagrams, though. If you're okay with it, I'm going to just show these.
We can show the Dallas work.
That's what I think, yeah. So this isn't one of Reinhold's work.
This is a photo of Dane.
This is a tete-a-tete. So we just slipped that in because we thought because we're both deaf we should have one of those. But also because the jacket kind of mirrors it. Because this is your jacket, one of your works. So these are kind of larger versions. And this work was made in response to Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, your first trip. Do you want to talk about those two?
When I was in Dallas last time, I saw a lot of men in downtown wearing these formal trousers, and most of them look very. I can imagine on weekend or after work they wear jeans or casual wear, but during the time they work they have to wear these. And I bought 12 of these pair of trousers in thrift stores and put 2 of them together and sew them together with the inner side touching each other. So you understand? Okay. So I sew them together and finally embroidered a poem, a 6-line poem. So each pair of trousers, double pair of trousers, has 1 line of these poems.
And this is the first letter is D-A-L?
Yes, right.
So it makes Dallas.
It's a Dallas poem, yeah.
And are they written about what the poems are about Dallas, or? No,
it's, as Holger always works, is there is a D, an A, an L, L-A-S, and then it's starting the first line, and then it develops.
And does Holger write about the connection between the 2 trousers, or about the man out on the street?
No, it was
completely
rather my situation in this studio number 5 with a patio, which is actually a cage. So something like that.
Okay. And then maybe we can talk about the new work, just briefly, and then we can open up for questions about this.
Okay, good.
Shall I just flick through it first, and then?
So what you see here is what I experience when I ride with my bike. No, ride with my bike through the streets of Dallas. I find fabric, clothes on the street. So this is, I guess.
Yeah. This one maybe.
This is the first day. Same situation. Second day, third day, fourth day, and then it was gone. So, and this is downtown. So it's not only in this neighborhood or in South Dallas, but also downtown you can find it. This is South Dallas.
Is that near the supermarket?
Yeah. And you can see, close to these places where I find the clothes, you can find people collecting them. So I feel very connected to them because I also collect them and take it home. And this is the first attempt to make a new work. I clean them, really, I do, in the washing machine, and then try to make little sculptures.
So maybe this is a good time to open it up for questions. Sorry that we've overrun.
Sorry.
I chose too many images. But does anybody have any questions about, I guess, this latest project here or anything else for Reinhold?
But what was, since you use fabric so much, okay, or you do?
That's a biographical, the sister of the two grandaunts and my grandfather were, they were tailors with own studio and people working for them. So during my childhood, I was connected with fabric. I guess that's the best explanation I can give. I really like the idea of the first layer or the second layer to your body. Mm-hmm. So it's very close to what is very intimate. So I like the idea about that.
I don't know, maybe this is a question for Holger. Why did you choose the name Sudarium?
Oh, the first place I had that on show was in South Germany, in Tübingen, and the place I could show it was a former called Sudhaus, and this Sudhaus means a brewery building where the beer was. There's a special episode in brewing a beer. You have to heaten it up, and that's Sud. So, but there is another. That was what Holger liked about that. Sudarium, Sud house. So, but Sudarium also is the expression of a very special relic, the Veronica. You may know the. Pardon? Yeah, right. And there is a kind of connection. If you see, it's not flat to the wall, but with just two pins, and it reminds to a Veronica or a relic like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's also something a little bit clever in the English interpretation of it. 'Cause, you know, we have suds, which is like the bubbles that come from soap.
Yeah.
So the idea of like this fabric that has this imaginary face on it.
Yeah.
When you were making the paintings with shellac, did you experiment with substances from your body to do this before you did the shellac?
Are you trying to trick him into admitting what I said?
He's bad.
Making those drawings. And so I thought, well, maybe you tried a few things.
Yeah.
Nothing like a crowd to suss it out.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I actually thought, I wanted to ask you, what's the worst example of someone misinterpreting your work? What's the most sort of like insulting take someone had on any of your work.
So applies to tonight.
Yeah.
Pardon?
So insulting. Well, people didn't like the ceramic work. They had trouble with that.
I didn't care.
No.
No. So.
Because you obscure meaning, you do.
But I don't mind if other people feel insulted or.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you all for coming.